Have you ever been broken? Having lost everything in your life? When this happens to you, you may be at a place that we call rock bottom. Rock bottom is a dangerous place to be in, due to many people not understanding the true purpose of rock bottom. Rock bottom has a purpose. I remember in the darkest moments of my life, I thought rock bottom was for my grave to be put. I thought it was my final resting place. But I'm thankful and grateful that the Creator showed me that rock bottom was for me to build a foundation on. Rock bottom was a place for me to go and build and learn more about myself, to learn more about my strengths, my weaknesses, my fears, and my courage. Rock bottom was a place that I was allowed to hustle and grind in silence. You must understand the same thing for your life. You are going to have to put yourself in a position, if you want to be better, if you want to be great, if you want to be the best version of yourself. You are going to have to put yourself in a position to disappear and shock the world. And in doing so, you're going to be lonely. You're going to be by yourself most of the time. Those that you've hung around and spent time with, it can be your loved ones, your family, your mother, your children, your parents, your siblings. This doesn't mean that they're bad people, but you must understand that if you are going to be the best version of yourself, and you're going to take every step necessary to become the best you, not just for you, but for others, you are going to have to be alone. You're going to have to be okay with being in a quiet place, a dark place, a cold place. For the season that's allotted in your life. You must also understand that you are going to have to delay your gratification. Too many people want to just climb the hill on a helicopter, on an elevator. They just want to be dropped off there. But life doesn't work that way. You are going to have to put yourself in a position that you understand the difference between needs and wants, the difference between things that are important and not important. You are going to have to realize that in order to become in the top 1%, you're going to have to do what 99% are not doing and will not do. Will you be the one to make the change in your life? Will you be the one to raise the bar and set the standards for your family? To be remembered for generations to come? Is that you? You must believe in yourself. I remember a time when I was coming up and how others were spending so much money on things, on cars, clothes, hairstyles, and all these things. And I used to get picked on even as an adult. People would take shots and jabs at me and would say things like, Yahshua, I'm not sure why you even doing that, man. Bro, like you ain't got your haircut. You still riding that old car from high school, all this stuff. But these same people, a few years after that, when I purchased my first property in my early 20s, I was able to live like they dreamed to live. Why? Because I understood the principle of delaying gratification. You must have the same understanding. You must become hungry. You must understand that a dog has a hunger that's never filled. Anyone that has a dog can testify to this. When you feed a dog, no matter how much you feed him, especially table foods and scraps, that dog never gets full. You must never get full in your life. You must never get full of being the best of yourself. You must never get full of doing great. You must never get full of being a better person today than you were yesterday. You must never get full of making more money this year than you did last year. You must never get content and satisfied. Yes, you pat yourself on the back and you take the victories as they come, and you thank the Creator in the midst of doing so. But kings and queens, you must never get full of being better. You must never get full of being greater. You must never get full of helping another person. You must never get full. You must go through the process in what we call the dark room. Know that the dark room has a purpose. A cocoon houses a caterpillar while it's going under its most important transformation in its life. If that caterpillar is able to survive its time in that cocoon, that caterpillar not only will transform into a new creature, but its way of doing things, its way of travel and communication will totally change. It will transform from a being that walks to a being that flies. Do you want to fly? Do you want to transform yourself and transform your life in the way that you do things? From walking to flying? A tree has roots that are deep. Some are much deeper than we can ever imagine. But guess where they are? They're in that dark place, hidden. In the dark, hiding out of our sight. Growing, creating a foundation that we cannot see. But we see the outward results of a tall, strong tree that puts forth shade and fruit in its season, and that falls over when its season is done. Do you want to be that best version of yourself? Do you fear going in that dark room? Do you have the right mindset? There are two types of people. One man said he cannot, and the other said he can. Which one of them are right? I'm here to tell you that they are both right. Both of them are correct. Why? The man that said he cannot will not put forth any effort to do anything in alignment with what he said he cannot do. If he said he can't lift the weights, he won't try, he won't work his way up to it. He won't even work his way from the smallest weights up to the weight that he said he cannot lift, because he believed he cannot do it. But the man that said he can lift that weight will work his way towards that. He will do everything within his power and give everything he has to become that person and to lift that weight. Will you become that person? Will you give everything you have? Will you put everything on the line to be the best version of yourself for those that you love the most? Will you do that? Will you sacrifice the free time? Will you sacrifice the gratification and the other things that many people are gathering after? Will you leave an inheritance to your children's children? Many people misunderstand dreams and reality. A dream is a dream until you get up, put forth the effort, and put the work in to make that dream a reality. When you face reality, you must understand that you have to be real with yourself. You are going to have to realize and be honest with yourself. If you're lazy, be honest about it. If you're weak, be honest about it. If you're fearful, be honest about it. Being honest about it puts you in a place that's called a starting point. You don't have to end where you start, but you must start in order to end. What is your destiny? What do you believe you have been created to do? What problems do you believe you were sent here to solve? Kings and queens, you're going to have to get with the Creator, the one for whom you were sent to show you who you are, whose you are, and why you're here. You must be determined to win in life. You are going to have to be determined, and your determination and desire to win must be greater than your fear of losing. Whichever you give the most energy to is the result that you will receive. Do you desire to win? Do you desire to be greater? Do you desire to be an example for those that come after you? If so, then you must put forth the energy and the effort for what you desire to be. Hustle hard in silence.